Start streaming, people. Alright. Let's see here. Hello, everybody. Of course, there's nobody here yet, but I'm gonna make a video of making part of the Saturn V's first stage booster. The lower part of it, because I gotta split it in two pieces to fit the 3D printer. The scale is 1 out of 130. I've already designed one, got it mostly finished, but then I found, since you're relatively new at 3D printing, there's some things that I, have to learn. Like how small can details be where the printer actually prints them, and I put a lot of details in them, and most of them are too small. So I had to redo a bunch of stuff on the model, but to me, I found Fusion 360 to be kind of glitchy. So every time I make these changes, like the center point shifts a little bit, and so some of the details get skewed. So when you do circular patterns or things like that, you'll find the circular patterns are no longer centered with the model. So I decided to. And they decided to restart the project. And because other issues appeared trying to fix them. So anyway, so the dimensions I'm using are based off of the original model I had, because most of the measurements were done. So one of the first things I want to do is I want to draw the fin. And so I'm just going to go on this plane here, right side, and just start drawing lines. And first line is just going to be simply 27.94 millimeters tall. My wife just texted me. Okay, so 27.94 tall, and the next line is going to be this line here, the base of the fin, for 40.328 millimeters. Now, when I originally did this, all the drawings were inches, but we always constantly had to convert between inches and millimeters, because once you actually go to the 3D printer, it doesn't work if they send it to the, at least for the slicer. If you leave it as inches, it messes up. So you don't want to do that. So next line I'm drawing is the tip chord, which is going to be well, it's going to be longer than 9.652, but you'll see a reason why I'm doing that dimension first, because there's going to be a line going this way, all the way back to the root. Then finally, there's going to be another line from this that goes 4.1 inches up. Now this line is important, because this line is the tip of the fin. Okay? Now we got that drawn, what we want to do is we want to use the extrude tool, and the thickness of this fin is going to be 2.462 millimeters. And so what I'm going to do, make sure you guys can see this, is I'm going to set this directional to be symmetric. Okay? And then the distance, I'm going to extrude it out, is going to be 1.231, because it's half of the other one. So we get this. Now, of course, now that we did the first extrusion, the sketch disappeared. So I'm going to have to go back to here sketches and re-show the sketch. But this is kind of important because now that we want to get on this side of the thing, we want to actually just rotate it this way. We want to be in the front of it. Now what I'm going to do here is draw a line in this plane, and this line is going to go on the tip here. Okay. Let's just do a rectangle actually. Rectangle might be better for this. Alright. The rectangle, I'm just going to draw it like this for off to the side for a reason. Draw off to the side for a reason, okay? And the reason for that alright, so select oh, I forgot to hold down shift. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but this is how I want to do it. So find the center point of this. And I gotta learn how to change the snap to stuff, because right now it's snapping to stuff I don't want it to snap to. Does that look good to you? And if you can figure out what I'm trying to figure out the doing. I know there's constrictions and stuff constraints you can use to do this better, but I just do it this way. And the whole point of this gives me a reference point here, what I'm going to do next. The tip of the fins is going to be 0.254, and 254, half of 254 is 2. Just cheat here. It's late in the day. I don't want to do the math in my head. 127. Okay. I'll draw a line from this point to 0.012. Actually, no, 0.127 millimeters. And I'm going to draw another line to 0.127. Okay. Now we got this 3D plane done. I'm going to delete the center points here because they're just going to get in the way. Then I'm going to draw a line from here to here to here to here. Okay, that's the bottom side of it. And we can test it by doing this. Okay, so it does work. Okay, not quite ready to do an extrusion yet, and we're not even going to do extrusion. So we go on this plane next. We got to finish the sketch. We're gonna go to this plane, and we are going to do the same thing we did up there at this point here. So we're going to draw a line from this point, 0.127, that way, and then we're going to draw another line, and of course you can use this keyboard shortcut to get the line tool. And just want to make sure we're on the right plane, and we are. Okay, if we're on the wrong plane, this is not going to work. It's going to do some weird stuff. And so I'm just going to complete this triangle here. So that completes that triangle. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to finish the sketch, and we're going to go to create loft. That's what we want to use. Select these two, select this one, and it draws the fin for us. And we hit OK. So we got the fin done. Now what we're going to do here is rename this thing as fin. So that is complete. Next, we are going to turn on the origin back on. And what we want to do is select fin, and we want to hit M for move, and we want to move this out of the way. Bye-bye, fin. And we want to do it straight out for a reason. Because when you select it, sometimes the angle tool gets thrown off, and it's kind of hard to get it back to where it needs to be able to put them on straight. And so since the fin is done, I also like to delete these sketches because you don't need them. And sometimes they just get in the way. So, and then creating a Saturn V, we're going to have tons and tons of sketches. So from this point of view, we want to go back to the top, and we want to center. Oh, I had that selected. Sorry. So when I hit that button, it went back to that. Now we're going to do the rocket body itself. And what I plan to do is we need to draw a tube that is let's first hit the plane here, and we hit centers. This is going to be 74 millimeters in diameter, and outside diameter is going to be 77.562 is the outside diameter. Okay, so what I'm doing here is figuring out how tall this tube needs to be. And so let me do some calculations off the screen here. I like to start off with the skirt for the fins is going to stick out back about 10.3 centimeters. The smooth part of the lower body tube is going to be 2.5 millimeters tall. And the first section that has the ribs is going to be 45.85 millimeters tall. So this is going to mean that I want to extrude this tube. Extrude this tube up to 58.65 millimeters. Alright. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a cone. Alright. And this is always the fun part. We want to be on the bottom of this thing, and we want to be angled so this is straight up. So just as a guide, I am going to draw a line here. At this point, I didn't do L here. Okay. I do a line just for a reference. And select it. Actually, I think I needed to do that under think I need to do that under sketch. Hold on. Line, select, and normal construction. All right. It's just a reference point. I don't want a line there just for the sake of having a line there. So, okay, the circle itself for the skirt, 27.94. That doesn't sound right. Oop, that's why, because the 27 isn't right. Okay. Alright. So what we want to do is we want to move this, select. Alright. We want to move this circle down. And you kind of have to eyeball it. So where the skirt I think it was about right there was what I wanted. And there is a way to measure this. Let's see if I wrote that dimension down. No, I didn't write that dimension down. I probably should have, but I didn't. What we could probably do is we can base it up. Let's actually do the skirt off the rocket for a second. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to extrude this. It needs to be solid for this to work. So we're going to extrude it up to 50.6 millimeters. 6 millimeters. Okay. Oops. I didn't want to hit enter. Let's do that one more time. Extrude 50.6 millimeters. And it's going to be approximately it's not quite 13. It's like 14. 14 sounds about right. And maybe a little bit more. 15. 16.5. Oh no, it's going to be 15.5 maybe. I can't tell there's a tip on that because the arrow's there. Alright. 7. Alright. The real way to test this is to see what happens when I put in the it's on the same plane as that. Alright, something doesn't add up right here, so let me give me 1 second to figure this out. Let's see. Let me load up something here. I'll load up the old botched one. Okay, that's why it doesn't make sense. Okay. think I'm knowing. Alright, I think the actual length is going to be extrude. According to this, it's going to be actually 60. That's what I did wrong. That's exactly what I did wrong. I forgot the lower part of the skirt. Okay, so I just misread my notes. So let me do a couple calculations here. Alright, 60.9. That sounds more correct. Okay. Distance 60.9. Okay, that looks a lot better. Because this is where the ribs are going in. This is exactly where the ribs are going in. Because this thing extrudes a little bit beyond the ribs. Okay, so now we want to make this a new body. Okay, so that is correct. Okay, so angle is going to be negative. And you'll see why we want to make these separate bodies at this point. You'll see why, because instead of, there's going to be 4 of these. So instead of drawing every single one individually, we draw one, and then we have the computer put the other 4 around it. So negative 15. Let's try 15 degrees. That's too much. 13. Okay. I think 13 sounds about right. But what we want to do is let's move this. Since we're doing a new body, we can do this. If we were doing join, we won't be able to do it. But let's go ahead and move this where we think it's going to go. And I think I remember the center point is going to be about right there. Okay. Then we're going to go okay, extrude. Make sure it says new body, because as soon as we go and move this, it's going to go cut. But we don't want to cut it. We want it to do this. And just for the sake of, okay, 60.9 is what the distance is. Right. And just for the sake of just developing this cone, I'm going to temporarily raise this 10 millimeters. But there was a reason. There was a reason why I had that shorter, and you'll see that. You'll see that real soon. Okay. And just for the sake of test here, I want to. Okay, no, that's not going to work. Alright. Body 2 is going to be this. Here, we can name this as the body tube. Okay, and we are going to go back to this. But we want to create this as a new body. Let me see. Extreme. New body. And now that we got it, it's 60.9. Okay. $13. Oh, negative 13. Okay. Okay, create a new body. That's what we wanted. Okay, so we want to move this body out. Okay, let's move this body out. That's one thing I forgot to check when I did that. 60.9. New body. Let's do a right side view here, because I can eyeball the edge of that. And negative 12. Let's try negative 12 first. Too much. Negative 10. Negative 11. Negative 11.1. Negative 11.2. 3. Probably good enough. 11.3. Okay. And just for sake of test, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay. So it was 11.3 that we said it was. I'm going to call this skirt. And we're going to move it out of the way once again. Okay, now the fun part begins. Okay, what's the fun part, you ask? Well, first of all, we're going to draw a circle underneath it. So we're going to go to the bottom. And we're going to go to this. It should center. Okay. So let's draw a circle on the bottom of this cone. Create circle. Actually, you know what? There's one thing I didn't check. That's a D for. There you go. $27. After all that, I did it wrong. Egg. 51 point. 33 point. Okay. That's why I don't like live streaming stuff. After all that effort, we did it wrong. So let's delete this. Does it let me delete it? Delete. Oh, that's why. They won't let you delete it when you're in sketch mode. Now I can delete it. Okay. So after all that fun, we found out we did it wrong. So what I'm going to do instead, let's go back on this plane. Delete all these sketches here because we don't need them. And we're going to do this. Select this plane. Now we're going to do it right. And what I did wrong is I looked at the wrong diameter. So that's what happens when you do it on the fly. The correct diameter is 33.8957. Okay. Let's go ahead and create an inside diameter, but we're not going to extrude it right away. It's going to be 31.5542 in diameter. Okay. Now we're going to go extrude this, both layers. The extrusion is going to be 60.9, like last time. Okay, and the taper angle is going to be, let's try 13 at first. Okay, it's too much. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. I just want to make sure it's set to new body. $14 looks good. Alright. You gotta show the sketch again. Extrude. This time we want cut. We want to go this way. I got 14. Okay. Now let's move this. See where we want to go to. Hitting cap lock. Alright. Okay, that looks fine. I think that's the right angle we want to go with. Yeah, that's the right angle. Okay, so after that sanity check, we got it done. Now what we want to do is go on this angle here. We want to hit this angle for a reason. Okay? And the reason for this is we want to have a guideline. So we want to be on the green line. We want to select it, and we want to normal construction. And that line is going to be very important for obvious reason. That's going to be the center where the fin's going to be. Alright. So what we want to do here, okay, and the trick is, it's going to be tricky in a sense that this is going at an angle. Okay? And I'll explain what that means in a second. Alright. I think this is probably the best way of doing it. Center rectangle. And we are going to want to draw a rectangle that is 0.5 millimeters by 0.5 millimeters. Okay. Alright. Alright. Actually, my thinkologies I want to do, okay, that is correct. That's what I want to do. Okay. Oops. Alright, let's do this button again. And the reason why I say that is because I am going to extend it this way. Let's use the line tool for it. I'm going to extend it this way, and you'll see why in a second. Alright. I'm going to delete this line. Delete. Actually, no, we needed that. Sorry. We needed that line. We want to delete these. Now we want to select all of these. And then we want to... Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's go back. The X is useful right now. And you'll see why in a second. Because that X tells me what a center is. Now I know I can use constraints, but I haven't taught myself how to use them efficiently, so I just do it the way I am comfortable with. So what I'm doing here is I'm moving down this way. Now you might ask, Doug, what are you doing? And the truth is, I don't know what I'm doing, but no, I know what I'm doing. Now we want to sink it a little bit into the plastic, because at this point it is going to be let's do another 1/10 of a millimeter. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to extrude. Delete. Okay, we want to make it all one piece, because you'll run into some problems if you don't. But we want to extrude this way, and we want to make it a new body. Okay. Now you might ask me, why am I doing it this way? Because this is the only way I know how to do it. Now, like I said, there might be a better way of doing this. I just don't know what it is. Okay. So, and I'm sure somebody watches this and sees what I'm trying to do. They might, tell me a better way of doing it. And I would appreciate it. I'm not the kind of person who gets insulted when somebody tells them I'm doing it wrong. Because I know I'm doing it wrong. Okay? So what I'm doing here is, if I try extruding this, it's just going to go straight this way. I don't want to go straight this way. I want it to follow the... So in order for me to do that, I'm going to select this as the plane that I'm drawing on. Then there is another way I can do it, actually. But I think that only works on a square surface anyway, so... I just find this way a more convenient way of doing it. What angle is this? Okay, I'm not quite at the root of it yet. Let me get to the root of it. You know what? What I might do? I might take body 5. Let me get out of sketch mode here. And take body 5 and actually move it up a little bit. I told it to select body 5. I must accidentally hit that. And the reason why I'm moving it up I just lost my train of thought. It must be Biden. Alright, let's cancel that because I Alright. I lost my train of thought on that, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. Oh, I remember what it was. I can correct for that from here. See, 0.5. Go like that. Okay, this is what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do. The line here, and it says that square onto that. Then I want to select this line. And this should tell me when it's 90. Yep, see? Now, right there, that tells me that's 90 degrees from that line. So I don't know if anybody's figured out what I'm trying to do here. But you'll, yep, that's exactly what I wanted. Alright, so I'm going to extrude it here. Hopefully I don't damage a part of the cone. I probably won't. Probably won't damage. Well, actually it would, actually. Let's find out. Yeah, it did damage part of the cone. Okay. So what I want to do is sketch 10. I'm going to move that. If I move this, assuming it lets me, it won't let me. Why won't let me? Sketch 10. I want to move it. Oop. Right. Why don't I move? Let's try moving body 5 first. Yeah, I gotta get out of finish sketch. That's why. These move commands don't work right when you're still out of sketch mode. Okay. Okay. Now can I do this? Let's click this. Alright, let me try selecting just this one, and this one, and come on, you know you want it, that one. Then we go move. Okay. Alright, let's try a different approach. This is probably the way we should have done it. Alright. To this line. No, that's not what I wanted. This line. This line. 75.8 degrees. Okay. I'll write it down. 75.8 degrees. All right. Now that we know that. Okay, now that we know that, let's get rid of this sketch. Get rid of these sketches. We don't need them. And what we're going to do is get back here, select this as a plane again. Then we're going to draw a line to 0.05, get 180 degrees. No, 0.5, not 0.05. So the thing, when I originally designed this, it was in inches, so 0.05 was used a lot. 0.5 is what I wanted. Then we're going to draw another line. That is the way I figure it's going the wrong way. So we have to do 90 plus, okay, minus 75.8 equals plus 90. That doesn't make sense. Alright, let's try. I know I did that wrong. I just know it. No, that's the wrong way. Alright, let's do this. What degree does it say here? It says 90 degrees. If the next 90 degrees is that, will be 180. Alright. Let's try doing it this way. Wait a minute. I think I know what I did wrong. I know exactly what I did wrong. Okay. 90 minus 75.8 equals 14 plus 90. 104.02 is what it is. Okay. That is exactly what I needed. That's what I should have done. Geometry was never my strong suit. 104.2. Perfect. Okay. Now what we're doing is we're going to get this line, and we want this line to be 90 degrees to that. So you see the little blue square, that means 90 degrees. And while we're at it, we're going to make this line 0.05. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to cut this line off. Let's do it like this. It didn't turn blue. There you go. But it did work. What I'm going to do, okay, I gotta think how I'm gonna do this. I know. Alright, that works. Now we're going to move this. Let's move this out, straight back. And you might say, why am I doing that? Because I'm going to chop this up here. Here and now is where I'm going to chop it up. Alright. Alright, and that's simple because you just see you'll see the blue squares once you get at 90 degrees. There you go. Those are perfect. Now extrude this and extrude this. Do a cut. It did something weird there. You're going to do a cut. And what we have left should be a square. Wait a minute, I did the wrong one. Shoot. Alright. No, that would have worked. That would have worked. That would have worked perfectly, actually. Okay, now we got something in the right angle. So what we want to do is, what we want to call this is conduit. Not conduit, but it's not a conduit. It's a fold in the metal for support. So call it a shroud support, maybe skirt support, maybe. Okay. And okay, so basically now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this in position. So I'd say little bit into, we want it to be a little bit into the plastic, or you're going to have a gap and you might have issues because of that gap. Okay. Now if we did everything right, okay, actually, you know what, let's go back to this. Move. I forgot a step. We're going to go inverted. And we're going to create new body. Now you see what we just did there? Now this extrusion is going the right angle. Okay. We can delete. No, that's still part of that. If I delete this, will it get rid of that? Find out. There's always the undo button. Alright, so it didn't get rid of it. Good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go left. Once you go left, you go crazy. Nobody should let friends go left. Keyboard shortcut. Gotta like keyboard shortcuts. But like once again, I'm going to have it sticking out just a little bit. And the reason for that is once we're done, we want to cut it off flush. And there's reasons behind that. Alright, now that we got that done, hit OK. And then we select this side. And then we just pull it all the way down to about there. About there. Alright. Now the fun part. Doing something new here. We are going to go back to this. We're going to select this as our plane. Going to create a center point line as a reference point. And you'll find out in a second that this is important. Finish sketch. Then what we're going to do is go to create, pattern, circular pattern. I want to select a body. And I'm going to select skirt support. For some reason, it joins skirt support and that together. That was unintentional, but we can work around that. Instead of bodies, we're going to do features and see if it selects it under features. It does. Okay. And if it if it didn't select features, what you end up doing is you have to do faces, and let's actually try faces because I think that's going to work better for this anyway. Faces, you have to go around and select everything that's exposed. All right. All right, axis. We want to select this line we did here. Oops. Did I select it or did I select the wrong thing? I think it's selected. I think it's selected that circle. That would work actually. And for the number, we're going to go with 18. Okay. There you go. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to test fit this by selecting skirt. We just, now that those two are joined, we just call it skirt. Okay. Now those are two joined, we call it skirt. And then we're going to select this, and we're going to M for move, and we're going to go join these two together. And what I'm looking for here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, where's the top one? Okay, that one's that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this one here needs to be in the bottom of that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Center 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks correct. This is what this looks like. Now we need to go up a little bit more. Where's my... I think I accidentally shifted it. I accidentally shifted it the wrong way, so I just restarted. Because remember what I said, it's important that this goes straight on. And you'll see why in just a moment. Accounts and receiving, just a moment. Accounts and receiving, just a moment. Accounts and receiving, just a moment. Guess I'm crazy. Alright. So we want to select this because this only moves in that plane. And we move it to about there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then we see how it looks on this. I think we need to move it up just a tad. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need to move it down just a tad because that last rib there, I don't want that shown. So let's go 58 millimeters just to see what happens. Okay, that's too much. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, we got room for interpretation here. This is what you call a sport scale model. And because of sports scale, Okay, I think that one's good. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually pull this one out. Okay. And I'm going to take this one. And this is why I had them sticking out. You'll see in a second why I'm sticking out. Alright. And there's going to be some cleanup. There will be some cleanup, and you'll see what I do with that. But I'm going to go ahead and chop this one down. I'm just going to leave a groove there, though. Well, that'll be taking care of the cleanup. Not that much of a groove. Okay, actually, that'll be perfect. That groove is so small, I won't print it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and just get rid of this one. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the other one we want to get rid of. Right here. Yeah, this one. Oops. Extrude. And we want to go ahead and just chop this one off. Okay. Now that they're gone, we're going to go ahead and do the skirt, bottom, and then we're going to move it this way. Now, oh, you see the boo-boo? You see the boo-boo I just did? Yes, I did a boo-boo. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one we want to get rid of. Delete. Cut. Distance. All. Now we gotta tell what direction to go. Distance. All. How come it won't let me, okay, now it does. Now it says okay. Watch me do this again. That'd be funny if I did the same mistake again. This one we want to get rid of. But cut distance. All. Okay. Alright, move. Okay. This time we didn't do the wrong one. It's always good when you don't do the wrong one. Okay. Now you notice that the skirts, the ribs do go inside the body. That's okay. That's fine if the skirts go inside the body. In fact, I might actually lift it up a little bit here. Let's do 57. 57's too much. Alright, it's 57.5. Kind of have to eyeball it here, you know. I think 57.5 might be actually. Oops. I think 57.5 might be perfect. Actually, I know it's perfect. 57.5 is perfect. So I'm going to go, okay. That's where I want it. Okay. Now, what we need to do here. What we need to do here is the same thing we did with the other thing. Let me create pattern, circular pattern. We want to select an object. We're selecting skirt support. Come on, select it. Might have to click it this way. Oh, object. Bodies is what I wanted. That's correct. Okay, now let's me do it that way. Now we select axis. And we mount it up to 4. Okay. Now we got the skirts on. Don't you love it when the skirts are on? Okay. Now what we're going to do, there's several things we can do next. All right. Okay, the fins, the distance of the fins, I didn't measure that from the bottom. I probably should have measured that, but I didn't. So let me go ahead and do that real quick here on the old one. Alright, so let's just use the line tool, make sure we're straight on, because if we're not straight on, your measurement's not going to be correct. Alright. Okay. That to that. 5.605 millimeters. Alright. Going back to the one that we want here. And let's go ahead and save this. Saturn. He can't block. Saturn V. First stage. Part 1. Remake. And this is why I want to restart it, because every time we had to make an adjustment, the center was shift. So if I did change it on this one and do the rotate to do the other ones, it's shifted a little bit. So, and it did the same thing with body details, and it just became a kind of a hassle. So that's why I decided to redo it. Okay, next order of business. And what is this? Well, that's the fin. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of an important object to have. So right now we're going to grab this fin that we drew earlier. And let me check, see what the text says here. I don't know who messaged me. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move this towards our project now. And as you can see, if we did everything right, the center of the fin goes right on there. See that? That's why the center lines are important. The only problem I see here is it's off the... Well, no, that's correct. It's correct. No, it's correct. Okay. That makes me happy when it's correct. So what we want to do here is it's right at the bottom, so that's what we want. So our height I'm going to hit control. I accidentally hit. I was grabbing the this and not that, and that's free float. And so if you use that, you can throw your alignment off, which you don't want to do. Okay, so we said this is going to be 5.605 high. Okay, now as you can see, we did everything right. One of the ribs goes right between the fins there. See that on the leading root? It's right smack in the middle of it. And we did that right, okay? Now what we want to do is we want to make sure this is embedded in the plastic, like so. Like maybe 0.5. Is that enough? I think that is correct. Okay. And it creates a nice, smooth fin there. Okay? Now, what do you think we're going to do next? Anybody have a guess what we're going to do next? I bet you can't guess. I bet you $1,000 you get. No, I'm not going to bet $1,000. Okay. First of all, I'd lose. Second of all, I don't have $1,000. So there, you know. And then we're gonna go 4 fins. Hit OK. Now since we redid everything, everything should be perfectly aligned. And it is. All the things are lined up. I mean, I'm kind of a, you know, kind of person who would be really annoyed if it wasn't lined up, okay? Put it that way. Alright, so what we are going to do next is the Saturn V rocket body gets chopped up a bit. And so what I mean by that is we want to do a construction here of offset plane. Okay? And the reason why I say that is the 10.3 millimeters up. Okay, now I'm going to turn off origin because origin is just going to get in the way here. Now what I want to do here is I want to draw a circle. So let me grab this tool. I need to turn on that construction. And now in theory that plane is selected. And I want to do a center diameter circle. And I'm just going to do it at this point. Now, as far as I know, there is no easy way of clearing between the fins. Okay, what's the actual 77.562? Okay. So let me turn back origin here, because now we're going to need that. Okay, so that line represents the area like it's going to get cut off. This area here is got to get cut out. And so what we're going to do here is do 2 cuts, do 2 drawings, and we have to do one thing here. At this point, we are done with the skirt. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and combine everything. We're going to go. Actually, let's turn off the sketches. Let's just completely turn them off. Why is it still showing them? Oh, because it didn't hit finish sketch. There you go. That's why. But it's still showing it. Okay. And we're going to turn planes off. And we're going to turn origin off. And we're going to select everything. And we're going to join everything. Join one target body selected. Don't want to make a new component yet. But now we got one skirt. And this is going to go call the Saturn V. 5 fin can. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is we would need to rotate this. So that was the point of doing that. We need all the objects to rotate. And we want to rotate oh no, it's doing that. Cancel. Let's cancel that. Bottom. Let's turn on origin again. We're going to select Saturn V fin can. And we're going to hit move. And for some reason, it decided to put this thing over there, but we can. It's not going to let us do it. Cancel. This is going to throw off the alignment if we can't rotate from that. Alright. Let's try. What happens if I hit this and do move copy? Would it throw it? I don't know. It throws the centerpiece over there. I don't understand that. But what's going to happen is that's going to throw our center off. And that's probably why I had so much issues. Because it bases everything off the rotation. I don't know. They just want to go 45 degrees. Okay, we got it at 45 degrees. Now, maybe I could do a tangent plane, but select a reference plane. And that's not going to do what I want to do. I don't think I can select this surface to draw on. It's not going to let me do it. See, it's not a flat surface. Okay. Oh, there we go. I figured it out. Now I can rotate it on the center now. Yay! I got it to work. So now we got 45 degrees and it's still centered on that. Okay, now we can do it. Yeah, sorry for all the time it took to figure out how to do that. Like I said, this program, my experience, can be a little a little glitchy. Okay, so look, we're on the left side. Now what we want to do with this is we want to draw some lines. Okay, so we want to do this point to this might mess up. I forgot a step. I guarantee that's going to mess up. So this is a finished sketch. We want to do up another plane. We want to lift it up above the surface we're working on. Okay, let's see. You know, close, but not. Okay. Let's do okay. And of course, it says that we got to turn construction back on to be able to see what we're doing. That's also important. Okay. And the reason why we need that out there is we got to do this. Then we got to take our text tool and select that plane. And now what we're doing is we're going to draw a line from there. And this is where I say snap the grid is a pain. To there. And this red line lets us know that we're 90 degrees. Which is a very useful thing to note sometimes. To there. And back to here. And did I draw one that goes straight across yet? I don't think I did. This closes the loop. Now you can see it turn blue. And I E for extrude. This is going to be a cut, but it would automatically switch to cut when I start pulling it. Now you'll notice we're cutting on the things on the inside. That's okay. Matter of fact, that's exactly what I want to do. Okay, so now that's the case, that's the case. And we do the exact same thing here. We can destroy these two planes now. And we can, and it's kind of, why do you create so many bodies of these things? Oh, because those pieces are broken. Okay, I see it. Okay, those pieces got chopped off. I can see what it's doing. And that was very important to do this cleanup every once in a while because these files get huge. And one of the things that I like to do, you know, you'll get a lot of stuff here. Oh shoot. I did delete one thing. I needed that line. Okay, so we leave our sketches on for now. But we can get rid of this sketch because we don't need that one. And what we do here is we do another one of those planes. And we're going to move this plane up this, well, it doesn't really matter, but we'll you know, since we're already on this side, we move this plane to here. And then we go, okay, we got a nice plane. And then what we're going to do now is select this sketch tool, and then what I'm going to do here is we're going to grab this corner. I'm such a nice guy. We're going to grab, point at this corner. We're basically drawing a trapezoid type thing. And then we're going to draw on this corner. And then we're going to draw down to this corner. And then we're going to draw there. Now turn blue, that's good, because that's exactly what we want to do. We're going to extrude this. We're going to turn this way. And we're going to extrude it backwards to this point, like so. Okay. Now it's time for some cleanup. Okay. I think we can safely say that these are all able to be cleaned up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do as part of the clean-on process, not clean-up, is now we are done with all these sketches. Okay. All right. I hear the train a coming. It's coming around the bend. I shouldn't be singing these songs. Alright, so now I need to select this plane. And we're going to look at the bottom. And we are going to usually create a circle. And this is a good way to check to see if our alignment is correct. I draw a line here, does it match with those? Yes. Does it match with that? Yes. Okay. That's a good sign. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle about that big. And I'm going to go hit E for extrude. I want to select all this. And is it going to chop off anything? Yes, it is. Okay. Now just do this. Did it do anything? That trimmed off all those flush with the edge. Okay? Now you might be wondering, what about this? Well, glad you asked. And this will also test our alignment. We are going to hit this plane again. We're going to hit bottom to make sure we flush, although with this case it won't be that big of a deal if it's not. Then remember how the diameter was 74? Okay, we're going to hit that. And then we are going to, what we could have done is actually we probably make things easier. Do this. Construct. Lift it up. Okay. Select this. Bottom. Zoom up. Then we do see for this 74. Make sure we're on that plane. And we are. Extrude. That way we don't have to select them all. And just go whoop. That makes a nice clean cut for us. Okay. And we don't see any ugly shading or anything, so that means it was perfectly. If it was off center, you'll see lines on one side. So that means our alignment is still perfect. Okay. Now, you think that those skirts look kind of big, but I've noticed the thing about this program is it has a tendency to stretch views. Although maybe it is a little bit off. Oh shoot, I messed something up. How did I manage to do that? You know all that stuff I just did when I trimmed on the bottom off? There we go. I somehow ruined it. So let's back up a little bit. Okay, now we gotta do the cleanup step again. I don't know how that happened. Alright, so you get to see this again. Like it or not, here I come. This is deleting. I didn't add anything. I deleted stuff. So I'm not sure how that happened. Must accidentally hit undo somewhere along the line. Didn't realize it. Alright, so now select this plane. I mean, it's entirely possible that happened. Okay. Alright, let's finish sketch. You select this plane. Go C for center. Draw the circle. Extrude up. And it's going to go red because it detects we are cutting through stuff. Okay, that's looking extremely good. Okay. It's looking extremely good. About this time, I think we might want to do a test. It did all that work, and we might want to see if these ribs are big enough to be printable. It should be, but should and would are two different things. And another thing we can do while we're here is, let's do the ribs. What do you think? You guys think we should do the ribs? Alright, let's do the ribs. And for that, we need to be on this plane. What time is it? 6:03? Alright. Alright, so let's look at the top. Okay, and what we're going to do is, and this is much easier than doing a skirt for several reasons. First of all, I'm going to draw a line here, just like what we did before. And we'll select the line, and we're going to make it a normal construction. That's just a reference point. And then I'm going to draw a line. We want center square, center rectangle, and we want to draw a 0.5 by 0.5 square. And what we're going to do here is we're going to select these corners and move it. Notice we left a little square in there because that gives us a perfect centering point. Now you're going to notice that this is going to be much easier because these things are already at the right angle. Okay. Now finish sketch, because we're done that sketch. Let's go back to top. Let's go back to fit and zoom in on this one. We're going to go ahead and extrude it. And we are going to want to say we're going to do it as a new body. And we're going to make this 10 point negative 10.26. And there's a reason why we're doing that short to begin with, and then you'll find out in a second. There's a reason why we're doing that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing we've done already. Where we, oops, cancel. And it still has all these things in there. Let's see what happens if I delete them all. Does it destroy anything on my model? Oh, looks like everything's fine. Okay. I just purple dots for some reason. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. Oh, that's probably... Let's undo that. If for some reason those need to be in there for the okay, I don't understand that, but that happens. If I delete these, it does something weird. So I'm not sure how to fix that problem, but maybe later on I'll fix it. But anyway, let's go back to what we were doing here. And we got to do a create. Actually, what I was going to do here was tank nozzle body. What would you call this? Business end. What's a good name for the bottom of the bottom section of them? What's a good name for the I have no idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to create pattern, circular pattern. The object's already selected. We want to select the axis, which is this point here, and the number I'm using is 128. And the reason why I'm using 128 is because it's divisible by 4. And I actually don't know how many ribs there actually are in the Saturn V. I just know there are a lot. And for the people that don't know what these ribs are for, wherever you see on the Saturn V a smooth body, that's a fuel tank. The pressure, or an oxidizer tank. And the pressure of the liquid oxygen or liquid hydrogen or kerosene, in some stages, I think the first and second stage of kerosene, was kept on the pressure, and that kept the rocket rigid. Well, there are areas where there's no fuel tank, so or oxidizer tank. So what keeps it rigid? And with these ribs, okay. So if everything goes well, it has 128. Okay, now you may ask, okay, well, why these are so short? Aren't they a little bit longer? And the answer to that question is yes, they are. And so what we're going to do here is all these bodies here are now ribs. Okay, I know that's kind of annoying to have them, but there's a good reason why we want them that way. Okay. Now for some details, I'm not going to show. I don't know if I'm going to live stream the details. I'm just making the details. I'm pretty much going to conclude this once I get the actual ribs done, the stage done, and then I may be adding the details. I'm just going to borrow them. They're already made in the other file. I'm just going to grab them, figure out how to transfer them to this file, and just put them on. Okay, so basically we got sides here. Okay, now there are some details that are on every single one of them, like all 4 sides have details, and there's some details that only 2 sides have. Okay, so and then also one side's going to get a launch lug, but I put that in after I put the details on, because there are going to be details. Actually, I can go ahead and put the launch lug on now. We'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so what we have here is you kind of find the one that's in the center, and we'll use this reference line to find the one that's in the center. Let's close the bodies, and we should have a reference line available. Do we need to draw a new one? It won't hurt drawing a new one. So I'll probably just draw a new one, but let's just get rid of all these sketches. The sketches are generally easy, safe to delete. Bodies, on the other hand, no. Bodies are notoriously bad to delete. And also, when you actually do new components, you'll find that there's some, like if you generate a new component, you know, they're not safe to delete old ones. Like I said, this program's kind of glitchy. Alright, okay. So I was saying there's different sides, and since right now all 3 sides are identical, I think what's going to determine, let's make front this side. The back side's going to get the launch lug. Okay, so for details to fit, we need these ribs. These ribs are going to be different heights in different areas. Okay, so once we determine which is the center point, we'll go from there. So let's just go ahead and draw a reference line. Okay, and we are going to select this line, and it didn't draw it. Let's select a plane. Then we're going to do a line for the line tool. We're going to select the green line, go like this, select the line we just drew, right click, get normal construction, and as you can see, that's the center one. Okay, now that we know that that's the center one, we are going to turn this at an angle, front, okay, front, and then we're going to hit this corner here to, oops, hit the wrong one. It should be, there it is. The way to do this way. Okay, we're going to hit the finish sketch and hit the extrude. Now, let's turn it and go here. Hate that my reference line went away. Alright, let's find out which ones these are. Let's go back to bodies. Okay, this one's going to be Okay, so the first one actually is the one in the middle. So this is going to be body 38. So we're going to select body 38. And we're going to select body. Not what we wanted. Cancel. So body 38 is the first one we're going to select. Okay, so we want to extrude this one and this one. Okay, now sometimes it's glitches where you can only do one at a time. Like you select this one, select that one, it does something really weird. Okay, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to back it up. Actually, let's use the calculator. Okay, we already know that this is these two need to be 23 millimeters long. We already know it already has 10.26, so that means we need to add a distance of negative 12.74. Oops, positive. Apparently I think it's positive. Okay, that's perfect. Now we're going to need to select this one. Assuming it lets me. Actually, let's hit E for extrude. Then we're going to select these two. And these two have to be full length of 45.8 minus 10.26 equals 35.54. Okay, now assuming we did our measurements correctly, yes, that is correct. Okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. And we should have done the next one like this too. So extrude this one and this one. Thirty-five point 54. Okay, now this is where you got to make some decisions. Okay, where do you want the launch lugs? Because two of these sides opposite each other get some details that the other two don't. So let's take a look and see what I did here. And the one that got messed up. Okay. I put the details on the side that doesn't have a launch lug. Okay. So let's do that. The next three ribs. Well, right now we can just actually just wing it because we can always extrude them. We can't make them shorter. We can because it'll cut a groove in the body. But I think we determined that that's not that big of a deal anyway. But let's do things properly, shall we? 38.7, and we already have 10.26. Okay, the next these 6 are going to be 28.44. And I'll probably want to write that number down. 44, just for reference. Because I know that when we get to a point where okay. Oh, you know what? There's something I didn't think of. Oh, it's joint. It only joins the body. Okay, so that'll be fine. And these two extrude. If we did everything right, these two should be full length. And that would have been 35.54. Okay. Now what we do with this is these we just manually do. We go through until we hit the skirt, and we want to go in far enough that it covers. Okay. I'm not really sure how it goes in the real model, but this is how I'm doing in this. And like I said, we got some room for interpretation of how it goes. Extrude. And okay, this is how I decided to handle it. And like I said, this is a sports scale, so I could be dead wrong on it, you know, and you know, it's not designed to win any awards or anything. And all this is based on the referencing the Estes Saturn V kit. And you know, I'm not measuring with a caliper and all that stuff. It's enough original artwork and stuff that it's not, you know, I'm not copying it bit by bit. You know, there's already some liberties and interpretations are different than what Estes did. I just messed that up, didn't I? Alright. Where's the arrow on it? Escape. Okay, it's glitched there, so let's just try that again. Let's do this one. Let's move this one down. Wow, the sun glare is getting bad. Let me try to fix that. I'm sorry, I didn't realize there's sun glare getting into your view there. That's what happens when you get focused on the project. I mean, I have the YouTube video right there, so sun is setting. Okay, and this one got one more to go, and I like to see what it's doing on there. I'll try to keep the inside as clean as possible. And the reason why I'm keeping that there is a lot more support. Support's kind of important. Okay. All right. Extrude. Extrude, extrude, extrude. Some people say that the Saturn V is not very good. It has a lot of mistakes in it. You know, I'm not too worried about that. Actually, no, let's do this one first. Cancel. Through this one. Pull it in. Okay. Extrude. Yep. You can start seeing where the alright. I think we're done referencing this. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. And then that should free up resources to do this one. No, it won't show the resource uses. Right now, 8.5616. So I should have thought of bringing that up before I did this, and that way it would show the drop in memory closed in the other file. It does take quite a bit of memory to do this. And as you can see, it's starting to get a little sluggish. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Don't be shy. A little bit more. There you go. Okay. Thank you. See if it does it. Okay. This one. Extrude. Back up a little bit. A bit more. That's good. No, that went too far back. Yeah, this computer's getting a little bit. I mean, it's a 6th Gen i7. It should have plenty of power to do this, but screwed. A little bit more. All right, that looks good. It should look good. Okay. Once again, it's time to. Ooh, I missed one. How did I miss that one? I must have hit back up a couple times the menu or something. Okay. Looks good. Looks pretty. It looks very good actually. It looks extremely good. I just give it a little save because you know things could happen. Okay. So what we're going to do now. I don't know why I loaded my recent data, but what we're going to do now is we are going to do our famous pattern, circular pattern, and we are going to select bodies. And so basically, body 92, body 92. We got to find where the bodies on this side is, and I think the first one was. I can't tell that's correct. We don't need those two. Okay. We don't need those two. So we do need body 37. So I'm assuming that since that's the first one, that's not it. 51. 51 I don't need. Okay. Probably 149. No. It's going that way. Okay, so let's try 126. That's going that way. Oh, that's all the way on the other side. Other side, other side. It's coming around this way, so. Okay, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Let's select it. There should be 128 of these. But there's more than 128. One 51 is one of them. Alright. Are we still in the circular pattern one? Select bodies. How come it won't let me select bodies in this? Alright, let's do it this way. Let's look at top. Okay, and we know that this is the side we need. Okay, so the bottom is the side we need. So let's just cover this and see what lights up. Those light up. Let's try 75. 75. 75 is right there. Okay, 60s, 30s. Okay, 30. That's all we need. Oh, you know what I think happened? When I did all of those, I didn't set it to do it as a body, and it fused it to all these. Okay, so that means we can't do it by bodies. Can we do it by features? Okay. Lessons learned. Okay. Create. Create pattern. Circular patterns. Let's try features. Nope. No, that didn't work. I gotta do it the hard way then. Okay, are you guys ready to do it the hard way? Anyone? Any volunteers? That's what happens when you mess up. Create pattern. Circular pattern. Alright. That one's allowed to be selected by bodies. That one's allowed to be selected by bodies. But I think that's it. So let's go ahead and, since those are allowed, let's go ahead and do it. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and do that. And there's 4, so they go okay. So no, those are the correct lengths for those, and although I think they were already the case, so that was a moot point. But oh well. Let's undo it so it doesn't create more parts. So basically the only choice we got to do this is with what's called faces. And unfortunately this is also possible it can fail. So what we're going to do is I'm only going to do a few of them at once. And so basically we just do this and try not to accidentally click on the body. See this? Alright, so what you want to do is you want to select this. You don't want to select that because then you select something you don't want to select. And I haven't figured out a real way to unselect something. There might be, I mean, I'm sure there is one. It's just I haven't figured it out what it was. So basically, you select everything that's not tied to the body. So I can't select this end here because that would select the body. Although it probably won't hurt it because it'll just rotate along the top. Alright, it's not too bad. Like I said, I'm still learning this program, so. Alright, so if this works, do top. You got to do every side that you can select. Top, 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 top. Then do 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 do. Pew 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 pew. Oh, that one I really don't need. So, but I have to finish it because if I don't, it's gonna fail. Okay. And I don't want to be a failure. All right. So let's see if this worked. Select this. 4. Okay. And if it fails, it didn't because I drew it. Okay. So that makes me confident. And another thing you notice is there's not a line there, but it won't print that line. So I'm not too worried about it. And if we really wanted to, we can. There's probably ways to fuse them together. Okay. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Now we already got the centerpiece, so there's no need to. And this is really annoying me. When I move my monitor so you don't get the glare, the cord film from the screen. So create pattern, circular pattern, and we want to select this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, I should have remembered to have them all as bodies because this would have been so much easier if they're all bodies. We can just they'll all be semi together on that list, and we yeah. Like I said, lessons learned. And this is probably a really boring session, but you know, I'm sure somebody will find some useful information. And hopefully I can 3D print this. I mean, last time I had the ribs, they were a little bit smaller, and it just barely, you know, it just barely tried to print them. Okay. All right. Select, 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 select. Oh, we already did that side. So we unselect stuff. Yeah, on all of them. Okay. Alright. What I'm going to do is select the tops first. That way I know that these are the ones I want. I should have done that first. Like I said, I'm not a professional live streamer. Okay. These are what we're doing. And I really should finish this soon because it's... Unless my wife started. Let me check see if she texts me. She might say, supper's ready. Ooh, I got a message on something. Okay. Okay. It wasn't the wife, but it's a... It's a friend of mine. Nope. Okay, and I think I need to get the tails. I do. If we missed one, it's not gonna work. And let's make sure there's no tails sticking out. No, all the tails are embedded in the plastic, so that doesn't count. Okay. And then we need to select our center point, and it shows. That's right. We got to up the number to 4, and then we hit OK. Okay. We are getting close to done for tonight. Like I said, I'm not going to show the. Put it on the details. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to decide which. I mean, they're all the same, so right now it doesn't matter. So, we're going to extend these. Now, remember what I said about writing that number down. So we want to take 450, 45.8 minus 28.44. I don't know if I need to include the I don't know if I need to include the 10 in this, but we'll find out in a second. Not sure what's doing there. There we go. I was using the keyboard shortcut for the extrude, so you probably didn't see it, but it wasn't letting me. It wasn't going to extrude, so that's why I said what's going on here. Okay, so 17.3 is what it says. So I don't know if that's correct. No, it's not. So that means I need to subtract the 1026. Okay, so now we are at 7.1. 7.1, and it lines up perfectly. Look at that. Okay, and we could use the circular thing to do that, or we can just manually do it. There's only 6 to select, so I'm going to say we'll just do it manually. Extrude this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Distance 7.1. Okay. Now we got all the space that we need for the details down on this part of the skirt. Okay. I just thought of something. Alright, generate design. What was it? It was this. Let me go up here. Chopped up. Okay. Alright. So I'm loading that file for a reason. Because I don't know if I'm going to do. Well, I said I wasn't going to do the details, so I guess we don't need that file. And what I was going to look up was this long pipe that's there. Yeah. I can do that later. That's just basically a circle that's 0.2 inches in diameter, stretched the length, and just, you know, put cones on them. That's basically what it is. So I'm not going to do that for the live stream. It's pretty simple to do. Who knows? I might live stream. I don't know. All right. So which side's back? Okay. Launch lug's always in the back. So that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I need a center line point again. Let's see if we have one in one of these sketches. Oh, 2 sketches. Okay. So I'm just going to hit this plane here, line, and then we're going to just draw a line here. It shows our center point. Select, and then I'm going to do this, and this is going to be a normal construction line. Okay. Now, my original design, I had the lug pretty close to the building, pretty close to the side of the rocket, but I think I'm going to change that idea. And the reason why I think I'm going to change that idea is because some of the details the rod will hit. So I'm going to change my mind and raise the circle a little bit. Now, for this, I am going to switch modes here real quick. And I want to go to, let's just go to inches. Okay. And the reason for that is because the launch rods are measured in inches. I know I can do calculations for, you know, that's too far. Alright, it's the center up here. Let's see what, yeah, that's good. So the launch rod is 1/4 inch in diameter, but okay, we need to go up a little bit more. You want to have a launch rod that's bigger, because if you put it at 1/4 inch, launch rod is not going to go through it. Okay, and so I say we'll use 0.3 inches here. Now we've done that, we want to go back to millimeters. Okay, because if we don't, bad things can happen. Okay, and let's just give it a little bit of plastic there. And what I usually like to do is I take double-sided square tool and do this. I wish it would snap to the edge of the circle, but that would be nice. It's not like Illustrator. 9.426. So I'm just going to do that. 9.426. There we go. Call it a day. Okay. Now we got this, and as you can see, we are actually on the wrong plane now. But that's not that big of a deal. The reason why I say that's not that big of a deal, because we can just extrude it this far. Okay, so let's see. We want to join. Okay, and we want to add like 6 millimeters. So let's make the 17 millimeters. Okay. Then we take this, extrude, go in like this, and what we do is extend distance to object. We're going to select this. It's going to be flush. See, perfect. We got the launch. Oh shoot, we made one mistake. Can you figure out what the mistake was? Well, that's front. We set the launch like was not going to be on the side with the details there, so I wasn't thinking real loud here. Okay, so we're just going to put the launch lug on this side, but we can do this much quicker because this side has a red line already. So, and we can, well, maybe if we, maybe not. It might get rid of it. Oh, it's still there. Okay, so we got a finished sketch, so we could select this plane is what we wanted. Okay, now the launch lug's going to be flush. And for circle, let's do a different circle. So let's do 2-point circle. That way we can start where we want to start and go to, we're still in inches? I guess we are. 0.3 inches. And let's center that on the red line. And then, we need another circle. Let's go ahead and just keep it in inches for this. This one we can use a center circle. The most common circle of them all. And let's make it that thick. Take this line And let's zoom in a little bit so we can make sure it's on the alignment. On the line, only kindness matters. That's not how it goes. Doug, don't quit your day job. It's what people like to say, you know. Now we should be on the correct plane, so we just have to select all these goodies. Extrude. We're already on the right plane. And since we are already in the correct measurement, join. We want to join. Okay. Now we have the launch hook on the right side of the model. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to extend this body tube. Now the only issue that we have is these cones here. So what we're going to do, because if we extrude what we have here, there's going to be a gap between stuff. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to select this plane. Okay. Got the plane selected. We get top view. And then we go center circle, and we're going to go to the diameter of the rocket, which is 77.562. Oh, and we probably want to switch back to millimeters, because all my notes are in millimeters. So now I just drew a 77-inch circle. So 0.562. Now, it didn't work. Okay, good. Now I undid it. Alright, let's do it correctly this time. Let's make sure we're still... No, we got knocked back in inches, so let's go back to millimeters. Center and 77.562. And that should be correct. And it's probably going to draw a line, which it normally does. And this circle, this extrusion is going to be... And for some reason, it didn't collect that. So that's not a problem. I'll probably draw a line now. No, it didn't draw a line. So we're going to join. Okay, I'm not sure what it's doing there. Distance. We need to do a second circle. Let's see which circle. And I'm not sure what that's for. Create another. It created another thing for some reason. Sure. Yeah. And now we need to go negative. For some reason it's negative. 51.25. No, it's positive this time. And do join. Okay. And then finally, I mean, we could have done it all at once, but I mean, we probably could have. We'll do another extrude, but and then the next section is going to be 60.85. I could have done it in one section. The reason why I had it measured it is it showed the showed that. Now what we're going to do here is there were some of these that were bodies. I think all the bodies disappeared though. Okay, since the bodies disappeared, I'm going to redraw it. So that's okay. So I'm going to take this. Alright. Let's do rotate it this way because we got a reference point. We actually got a reference point on it. It doesn't matter what side we do, we got a reference point. Okay. And we probably want to select the plane too. We're at the top two plane. And then we have this. And the advantage of this is we got a very good reference point. Extremely good reference point. We just got that one there. See? And since we're on a different plane, it doesn't snap to it, but maybe I get lucky and get. Doesn't look like it zooms in anymore. We just have to do what's called close enough. You know what close enough is? Close enough. God. I think you're real loud here. Besides that, did I make it 0.5? Does anybody remember? We'll find out in a second. Dimensions. Yeah. That is correct. So I'm going to go extrude, and we're going to extrude this, and we're going to extrude it down, and we're going to hit join. Actually, let's do bodies. Do body that way. Yeah. We got to learn from our mistakes the last time, you know. Negative 60.85. 60.85. 60.85. Yeah, numbers only have one set of decimals. Okay. Okay, and this one's going to be simple because now we're going to go create, not extrude, cancel, create pattern, circular pattern, select bodies. I'm going to select this body. We'll go axis and select this and quantity 128. Hit OK. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oxidizer tank, probably there because I think the first stage is kerosene, and you need a lot of kerosene. So, okay. You know what? Let's go back to inches real quick. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to go look at the bottom. And I am going to move off to the side about here. I'm going to select this plane here. Just select the plane there. And I am going to draw a circle, center circle, that is 0.02. 0.2 is what I want. Okay. Now we're going to extrude this. And we're going to make sure it's a new body. And according to this, did I actually measure the length of this thing? I don't know if I measured the length of that. I just know where it starts. That doesn't help me though. Let's do this. I'm thinking I'll go ahead and just do the pipe, so you guys can get an understanding what it looks like. All right, and it's probably a good idea if I reference it. And the file didn't load. There you go. Now it loaded. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to measure the length of that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to select this through this corner like this. Again, it should be safe. It really should be safe. Let me do this and just draw a line from that point up right down the center of this thing. And it says it's 139.825 millimeters. And while I have this open, I can measure that it's 20.328 from base. Okay. And it's, I gotta draw, I mean, I could probably remember it, but I want to draw the reference point of where it is. And it's straddling those three lines. Okay. That being said, we're done with this file because this is the last thing we're doing today. So, don't save. Okay, so let's go to this file. I'm going to extrude it. New body. And it's going to be 139.825. Okay. Next step. We are going to make the cone. How I did this, I used a fillet. And just dropped it down until it couldn't drop anymore. Okay. Then, what I probably want to do is go to the top of this thing. See where the top is? And just hit top. And then I go to, let's just do it where it lines up. Draw this. And we're going to draw a line. This computer's thinking. You can see how much, just what we have right now, you can see how much is taken up. Well, probably better if I do this. It is better if I do this. Okay. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to extrude it. Okay, escape. And we're going to chop in half. It doesn't look like we got half of it. I don't know. I think we got more than half of it. I don't know. I think okay. What we're going to do is tap this face. Alright, and D for distance, we're going to draw this to that. Come on, you can do it. This, this to that. A draw actually. Yeah, there we go. 0.1. Okay, it's exactly half. So I guess it's fine. Yeah. Let me extrude, and we're going to extrude this, and we're going to pull it down, and we're going to tell it to go extend all. There you go. Okay. So we got the conduit made. Alright. And the bottom should be nice and round. That's what I'm trying to see. And I not having much luck. Let's go to the bottom. Let's hit this so we can see the center of our work. There we go. It's on the sides of the details. So what we're going to do is we're going to select it. Select it. And this is a body, but you know, see what body it is. It's probably one of the newest ones, so because this is the last thing we created. So it'll probably body 290, and it is. Okay. Now that we got that, we're going to hit M for move, and we are going to rotate it. As a starting point, let's do 90%. Not 90%, but 90 degrees as a starting point. Then we're going to move it to approximately where we're going. Okay. Then what we're going to do is just go back face, and it really zoomed us out, isn't it? Okay. Okay. For now, let's hide the body because it's just going to be in the way. Then we're going to do offset plane. And then we're going to go up 20.328. Oh, we're still in inches. We want to get out of inches. We got to go millimeters now. So let's go all the way through this. Millimeters. Okay. Then we can do that. Let's do that. Construction. Select plane. We're selecting this plane. Then we're going to go up. Negative. .328. Alright. So that tells me, in theory, the bottom should be... Actually, you know what? We don't even need to bother with that. You know why? I know where the top of the thing has to go. The top lines up with the exact edge there, and there's a reason why. Because this is only the first half of the first stage, and the reason why it's cut up is because oh man, its center point. I mean, it's too tall to fit in the printer, so that's why it's And you know what? I did this in inches. Like, what were you thinking? All right, let's extrude this down to extrude it down to distance. Extend to all. I wonder what that's going to do. Extend it straight to the bottom of it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I don't want it to be all, so I want it to be distance. Yeah, I don't think that worked. I think it would be better if I did positive. Let's just cancel. You know, it might be faster if we just redo it. Let's just redo it. Okay. Is that the circle we created? Actually, you know, just to so we get the right height, why don't we just do it on this plane? Circle. 5.08. Okay. Tab. 5.08. Alright, that's just for the sake of testing this. Let's switch back to inches just for a second. Okay, that's correct. The calculator was actually on. Okay. So let's 5.08. So let's extrude this. You know, we could probably get. No, I'm going to do that for the curvature. Okay. It's probably best if I do this all at once. Okay, we said it was 139. 139.825. Okay. Then we got this tool. Select this. I want to make it a cone. Okay. Then we want to go to the top here, and we want to top, and we want to chop off half of it. And so we'll use that line as a reference. Alright, and we extrude this. Down. Okay. What we want to do here is we want to this is the radius is 2.54, which is correct. That's half. Okay. We're going to extrude this, and we're going to extrude it this way, and we're going to tell it to do it the entire length. There you go. Okay. Now we got it cut again. So this is going to be body number 294. Going to do this, and we're going to tell to rotate. Nope, the wrong one. Control Z. I don't see it. I need to zoom in more. I'm not still in sketch mode, am I? No, I'm not. Alright, move and copy is what I wanted. And then somewhere is the thing to do. I don't know why it doesn't put it right where you click. That'd be nice if it did. That's the wrong one. 0 degrees. It's this one I want. 90 degrees. Okay. Now in theory, this should just go right where it's supposed to go. I mean, height-wise. In theory. In practice, I don't know if that's the case. So let's move it where it needs to go first. And the thing is, you can't adjust for body height until you get where it goes. Okay, so right where it goes it was straddling these. So let me turn it a little bit more. And let me do a bottom view here. Let me just kind of slide it there. Am I straddling the right pieces? I am straddling the correct pieces. Alright, so what we need to do is I want to show plane 5 to make sure it's on the right plane. And it is, because I didn't move it down or up. And I didn't change its angle. So in theory, I just need to lower it just a hair. I want to see, I don't want to see any air underneath it. You do not want to see air underneath it. Too much. 1.5. Eyeball. This is what you call eyeballing it. Come on. That's probably very close where it needs to be. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to take the liberty and put it there. Alright. Where's our plane? And make sure it's on the right plane. Alright, let's do back. And I don't like how it just throws the camera somewhere when you do that. But it does look like it's on the right plane. It does look like it's the right width. Alright, now let's extrude this. And we want to extrude it to, I'm going to go join because it's on this body. We want to extend it to object, which is the edge here, and hopefully it works. And it's thinking. Did it do it? I'm not sure if it did it. Yep, it did it. Nice smooth edge. Okay. Then what we need to do is we need to, one last thing here. We're going to pattern, circleize. We probably can't do bodies anymore because I did the join thing, but features might do it because it is a feature. And select that. We need to select the axis, and that's obviously the center axis, and this time it's 2. And hit OK, and you notice it should be 1. It failed. Okay, so it failed. So that being said, let's do pattern, circular pattern, faces. Alright. When it fails doing that, faces usually works. Axis, this, 2, okay. Let's see what fails there. Alright. It's not letting us do the circular pattern. It says there's a problem. Do we have any other options we can use? I can't use components. Features we already tried. Alright, so what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to back up a little bit. That's forward. Okay, we're at the point where it's still we're at a point where it's still a body. Okay, so now we can select it. You do this pattern, circular pattern. We already got the object selected. We need to select the axis, and we need to tell it's 2, and then okay, it should work this time because it's okay, and it's right on. It's identical to the other side. Yes, it's identical to the other side. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to do an extrude command. And we're going to select this. We're going to select this. We're going to go extend to an object. Select this. And this is an error. Oh, new body. I don't want to be new body. There's where the error was. All right, extrude. Extrude. I tell it to join. Distance to object. And we got to select the object. All might work. I don't know. Join. Extend to object. Select the object. Let it think. And it said it failed, but let's see what happens if it okay. Nope, it did it. I'm not sure what failed. I think it didn't know what it was talking about. And okay. There's one other thing I want to do to this. Well, here that's not a detail that we want to join, but what I want to do here is I want to go back to the bottom. Select this plane. And what this is there's going to be a centering ring that holds the motor mount. I haven't decided if it's going to be a like a 2D cluster, 3D cluster, a 518mm motor mount cluster. I haven't decided details like that. So that being said, let me hit bottom. You're going to draw 2 more circles, center circles. Make one at 74 because that's the inside diameter. Okay. Oh, I forgot step. Let's do a inside plane. Okay. I've finished sketch. Construction. Inside plane. We go up. Let's do right so we can see it. Okay, it's right at that 10 millimeters. I want to go up a quarter. Let's do 10.3. 0.3. Let's add 6 to it. That's a quarter inch. No, that's not what we want. We want do 13. Add 13 to it. 23. Does that look right? That looks way too far up. That's a quarter inch there. So that's approximately half an inch. That might be good. That might be good. Half an inch. That should be good. Okay, so we got that done. And let the computer decide what it wants to do. Scroll all the way up. And this but I forgot. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I was turning off origin. Okay. So let me go this. Turn origin. No, origin came back on. Why did origin come back on? I have no idea. At the bottom. Alright. So what we're going to do here is going to do a center circle. 74 millimeters. Hit OK. We do another center circle. And let's try 73. See how big? No, 73 is way too small. Let's try 70. Oh, I don't know, 70 maybe? 71 millimeters? 71 millimeters looks doable. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hit the extrude button, hit this, and we are going to extrude 6 millimeters. Okay. Now what this ring here is for is this bottom center ring it acts like a thrust ring for the bottom center ring, just in case the glue bond between the center rings and the motor mount come undone. I mean, super glue is what's going to be used, and super glue is kind of brittle. And the way the motor mount's designed is the motor tube won't be able to shoot to the top centering ring, the motor tube itself. So as long as as long as that's in place, and as long as the top centering ring's in place, there's no way the motor tube can shoot up inside the rocket. So that's the point of that. Okay. Now we're going. Just hit save here. Okay, more save. I don't need to give a name. Let it do its thing. Okay, and now this is the part where it's going to probably take some brain power. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. There's a lot of bodies, but we can't very well get rid of any of them. Sketches we can get rid of. Delete. And some of the bodies are going to go bye-bye in a second. You'll see that when we do the next step. And the next step, even though this is a pretty decent computer, you're going to see, look at this, using half my system memory already, more than half my system. You can see just by saving it, it just does stuff. Just startup, history's performance. These are what the graphics card is doing. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Okay. And it said a couple errors. Let's make sure none of those errors caused any problems. Usually when you delete sketches, that's not a problem. Look how nice and clean that is. Oh, did forget one thing though. One thing we did forget. Let me hide this plane. Let's hide constructions. There we go. Oh, we forgot these. Alright. Are these still bodies? Or are these faces? I'm not sure. I think these are faces. And I was doing that glitch thing. Where it only let me do one at a time. Okay. Alright, so bodies, join. What we should do here is, it might not let us do it. Let's find out. Cancel. It may let us do it. I don't know. I don't know if it will. No, it does. Okay. That's what I want. Ah, come on. Perfect. 2 is perfect. 2 millimeters. Okay, so we want to extrude. And probably what we want to do is see if we can... See, that's the glitch I was talking about. We're going to do one at a time. It might let us do this and this one. No, it doesn't. Alright, now, see, now it won't let us select more than one thing to extrude. Alright, so I'm going to do this as a new component. A new body. Just for the sake of making it easier to do the next step. Alright, extrude. I'm not quite clear on where these are supposed to stop. Do new body. I'm going to do a little creative license here and just I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm just going to do, like I said, creative license. Just when you think you're done for the day, you find something you forgot, and you have to do this again. New body. I hate doing that. I hate forgetting it. Okay, and then it messes. It just you can tell I've done enough of this today, can't you? I have no idea how many people watch this. I am getting tired, so you can probably tell that by how many mistakes I'm making right now. New body. And like I'm saying, I'm choosing new body for a reason. And probably what I want to do is I probably want to extend those to that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that really. No, I can't because that's where it stops. Alright. Okay. Alright. Joint, new body. Okay, don't forget to hit OK. Now these lines you see won't print, so that's too small to joint. Okay, it's wet. Not exactly what I wanted to drink, but we're so close to done. Alright, say new body. Okay, now I am going to select chamfer tool. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And I am going to say we want to do two distances. And this one is going to be distance 1, that's point 0.01, see what happens. 1. Let's do 1 by 1, see what happens. Too much. 0.01. I haven't really figured this tool out yet. 1 millimeter. Okay. So this is the one that goes down, and this is the one that goes. Okay. Be nice if I get rid of those. What's going to happen is if I get rid of those, it's going to leave. It's going to leave a scar. There might be a way to clean it up. Let's experiment with that. Oh, I got rid of the. Let's just leave it. Creative license, just leave it. Okay. Creative license, just leave it. Alright, create. Now we're going to do the same thing that we've done numerous times before. And since we left them bodies, we just click on them. Ain't that nice? And we need to see origin. And we need to select the blue one. And there's 4 of them. Okay. Yep. Now all 4 that way. That's creative licenses. Oh, I forgot the faces. Got to do the faces. That one's probably simple enough to. Let's try. Let's just for the sake of experiment. Let's do face. Okay. Select. I'm just doing this as somewhat of an experiment. Okay. Yeah, that worked. We got a nice rounded cone on all those. Yay, look at that. That's pretty. Alright. Let's hit save again. Let's watch our performance of this computer as it says. Okay. No, it really doesn't take much performance saving it. What does take its performance is doing this. Watch this. Oh, select. That's why I was doing that lasso thing. Let's select the lasso. Go like this, and let's get Task Manager. Watch it. Oh, I actually didn't. It did an hourglass on me. I'm amazed. Usually an hourglass is on me. But then we do this, and let's see what it does in performance. Oh, yep. Computer's definitely not liking that, but it's not really showing any. Oh, maybe CPU usage is up a little bit. CPU usage. CPU 1. Oh, look at that. It's server CPU is not doing much, but okay, all that numbers, all those numbers. I like numbers. Don't you like numbers? Ethernet. You get some Ethernet usage. Memory. More than half the memory is being used. And of course, Windows thinks it's not responding. Oh, this is the part that takes a while. And this is an i7. Imagine what it does on my 3rd generation i5 I have at home. Come on, computer. Now the Windows says it's on. Now it says it's not responding. Oh, while it's doing that, I can open up this browser and Oh, they've got one person watching. Oh, that's cool. One person's watching. Probably my wife. If it is my wife, I'll be home soon. I'm just one little task left to do after this computer decides it's. Oh, there it goes. Yay! Well, there's a spike in performance there. Look at that. Alright, so operation join 150 selected. Make this a new component. Alright. And hit OK. And you can see the bottom of it be very busy. It's missing a message. Okay. My wife messaged me saying it wasn't her till now. She fell asleep. I know it's kind of boring. Okay, so it created this. And Saturn V first stage part 1 without details. Okay. Now what I want to do here is just for the sake of experiment is let's put it there. Why not? Okay, we're done in this for now. So we go save. Computer save. And while it's doing that, I'm going to load Cura, which I installed on this computer earlier before I did this. Allow access. Oh, you shouldn't sing that song. Started. Agree. Blah blah blah. I gotta turn my phone down. Alright. Next. Next. Skip. Next. Add a non-network printer. Create. Okay. I don't think it's that brand. Oh yeah, it is. It is. There we go. Next. Next. All right. This is the program that we use to. It's OneDrive. Okay. There's the file we just created. And let's go slice. That's where the tests. Oh, CPU just jumped to 100 when I did that. GPU is working a little bit there. See that? Video encode. Well, video encode would be the live streaming. See that? Alright, let's do preview. And this is what's important because I want to see if it actually gets the ribs. And it looks like it got the ribs. Alright. Look at that. The ribs are thick enough that I actually got it. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Look at it. You can see the paths that the printer would take. And it says it will take 18 hours, 39 minutes, but I didn't add supports yet. I don't want 20% infill. I want like 80%. Maybe 100. We need to be like a solid rock. So, and then support, and then slice. This computer is a lot faster than the one I have at home. it takes a while for my computer at home to slice it. And plus, this computer has a better graphics card too, so I think I have a NVIDIA 760 in the computer I have at home. Okay. Processing layers. Alright, this shows us the supports I'll create. You see obviously supports underneath the fins. And there's going to be supports. The nice thing about this, since it's curved, it can gradually get into it. The only thing left. Alright, so another nice thing about this is you can do this. Oh yeah, you could. This shows the direction the printer head that takes. It draws the inside circles, it draws the outside circles, then it does the fill. Okay, and this shows what each layer looks like. So you can see it starts the supports for the fins, supports for launch slugs, supports for the pretty much the gap in between. And then once it gets, this part here is the only actual part of the actual model that stays. And it starts printing up, and it starts getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And then basically it's the same print from there, and then it starts doing ribs there. I still have to add these details. That's not going to take very long. I'm not quite sure how to transfer a file, an object from one file to another. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But I'll probably do that off stream. And basically the rest of the stage is just another section here, another section up there. I'm going to check to see if the dimensions are the same, if I can just use the file I had before. That'd be nice if it would, because that one actually has a lot more details in the top ring. There's like an access panel. There's it looks like some kind of sensor array type of thing. I can redraw it, but it would be nice if I can use the original diagram. I'm in the original file, but I'm not sure that's possible. But anyway, that's the end of this episode. It's let's see, there's a way. Does this tell me how long I've been on? Ooh. Okay, my YouTube channel says I started streaming 3 hours ago. I don't know if this is actually 3 hours or not, but I mean it'll be over 3 hours, but like how much after 3 hours it is. Yep. So anyway, I appreciate the few people that actually saw parts of this broadcast. Maybe I'll do another live stream on a different component. Till then, I'm very anxious of getting the final details on this model and getting it started printing, because as you can see, it says it takes 1 day, 7 hours, and 1 day, 7 hours and 29 minutes to get it done. That is if I do basically 100% infill. I might just decide to lower it down and stuff, because 1 day is a long time. I'll tell you, 1 day is definitely a long time. You all have a good night, and thanks for watching. Go to the program and shut this live stream down.